Friends, good morning to all of you. The topic of today's lecture is integrated pest management. It will cover definition of IPM, that is integrated pest management, components of organic pest management, and biotechnological approaches for pest management. The integrated pest management is a system that in the context of prevailing environment and population dynamics of the pest species utilizes all appropriate techniques or tools or methods in as compatible manner as possible and maintains pest populations at levels below those causing economic injury. Now there are different tools or components of organic pest management like ecology of pest, pest surveillance and monitoring, ETL, that is economic threshold level. It is the level of pest population or damage caused by the pest. When it exceeds the cost of controlling pest, it becomes your economic threshold level. And host plant resistance, behavioral methods like use of sex pheromones or legal methods, physical methods, mechanical methods, cultural, chemical or genetic methods, and of course biological methods like use of botanicals, predators, parasitoids and plant pathogens. So these are integrated together or one or two can be taken in one go. Now ecology based pest management is important because some cases of severe pest outbreaks have occurred like Helicoverpa armigera in cotton, slug caterpillar in coconut. In several crops, pests considered as minor have become now major pest. Habitat diversification is an important way to control the pest. Habitat diversification makes the agricultural environment unfavorable for growth, multiplication and establishment of insect pests. The strategies could be intercropping system, trap cropping, fertilizer management, planting dates, planting density, destruction of alternate host plants, water management, crop rotation, organic manure. Now intercropping system, it reduces pest population and damage through pest as the pest outbreaks are less in mixed stand due to the crop diversity. Availability of alternate prey is there and decreased colonization and reproduction in pests, chemical repellents, masking, feeding inhibition by others from non-host plants. Now effect of intercropping system can be seen in many crops. For example, this in red gram if we grow with sorghum, the ear head bug of sorghum is reduced. Similarly, stem borer in sorghum can be reduced if we intercrop sorghum with cowpea, and also leaf hopper in pigeon pea can be minimized if we take sorghum as an intercrop. Trap cropping, crops that attract insects or other organisms to protect target crops from pests are trap crops. Many may prevent the pest from reaching the crop and concentrating the pest in certain parts of the field where they can be easily controlled. There are many examples. One could be that in tobacco, cotton and groundnut, castor can be used as a trap crop which can control tobacco caterpillar. Similarly, in maize, if we take sorghum as an intercrop, it attracts shoot fly, stem borer, etc. and our maize crop is saved. Fertilizer management is also important. It has been shown or found that nitrogenous fertilizer increase disease or pest incidence. However, phosphorus and potassium nutrition decreases the pest incidence. Take the case of rice where high potassium application reduce the pest incidence by thrips, green leaf hoppers, hole, maggot, leaf folder in rice. Similarly, in wheat, the cutworm incidence was increased when we increased the nitrogen doses, and sorghum, the shoot fly incidence can be reduced if we apply phosphorus in sufficient amounts. Planting dates, by altering the planting dates, we can avoid the pest damage. For example, in rice, the leaf folder incidence can be reduced by early planting of rice, that is up to the 3rd week of June. In sorghum, leaf hopper damage can increase if we delay the sowing. So timely sowing is required in sorghum. Planting density means if we exceed the plant population in the field, dense population, it attracts many diseases or many pests. For example, in rice, the dense planting can increase the incidence of leaf folder and brown plant hopper. Similarly, in chickpea, the higher plant population can increase the incidence of Helicoverpa armigera. Destruction of alternate host plant is also required because these pests can survive for generation if alternate hosts are available. For example, for green leaf hopper, the alternate host plant is Echinocloa colonum and Echinocloa cruzgelli in rice. So this plant should be destroyed. In sorghum, these grassy weeds can harbor the earhead midge. So all kind of these plants should be removed. Water management. For example, in rice, the mealybug, if we keep the continuous ponding of 5 centimeter, it can be reduced, the damage can be reduced from the mealybug. Otherwise, take another case in rice where caseworm and brown plant hopper damage can be reduced if we drain out the water. So we have seen the optimum maintenance of water is required to manage the pests. Crop rotations are very good tool to manage the pest, and we know that monoculture and overlapping crop seasons are more prone to severe outbreak of pests and diseases. And growing rice after groundnut in garden land in puddled condition eliminate white grubs. Organic manures have been found very useful in managing the pest. For example, pressed mud in groundnut at 12.5 tons per hectare reduced damage by leaf miner. The incidence of leaf hopper in rice was lower when azospirillum was combined with farmyard manure. Organic manure lowered the rice gall midge incidence. Use of pest resistance or tolerant variety is very important component of IPM. Several resistant varieties of crops have been developed against major pests through intensive breeding program in the country, and varieties are available. But the development of varieties with multiple resistant is essential. Wide hybridization. Crossing a wild species with a cultivated species to enrich the gene pool is required. Adaptation to stressed environment, protection against pests and diseases, and improved quality. The wide hybrids of rice, that is Oryza sativa, with wild species like Oryza latifolia, Oryza officinalis, Oryza ridilei have been produced, and everybody knows about the BT cotton. Now, physical methods of pest management. Activated clay or vegetable oils 1% controls Calosobruchus chinensis in stored pulses. Solar heat treatment of sorghum seeds for 60 seconds kills rice weevil in red flow beetle. Biogas fumigation 5 for 5 days kills eggs, grubs and adults of pulse beetle. Drying seeds below 10% moisture is a usual practice which prevents insect development. Cold storage of fruits and vegetables kills fruit flies at 1 to 2 degrees centigrade for 12 to 20 days. Mechanical methods are available which are very much part of IPM, like mechanical destruction, mechanical exclusion and appliances based on mechanical control method. Mechanical destruction we go for collection of insect which are visible from naked eyes, like hand picking of caterpillars, hooking of rhinoceros beetle adult with iron hook in coconut, sieving and winnowing of stored product, insect control, and shaking plants to dislodge caseworm in rice. Mechanical exclusion, wrapping of fruits against pomegranate fruit borer, banding with grease against mango mealybug. We can put a band across the around the trunk of the mango and it can manage the mealybug. Trenching for larvae of red hairy caterpillar. Tin barrier can be used around the coconut tree trunk to prevent rat damage. Rat proof structure in storage godowns can be installed. Now, appliances based on mechanical control method, like light trap, a usual practice, it can control stem borer of rice. Yellow sticky traps for attracting aphids and jacids. Bait trap, fish meal trap for sorghum shoot fly. Methyl eugenol trap for fruit flies, very effective, and probe trap for stored product insects. Pheromone trap for various adult insects. Use of botanical in pest management is very good strategy. Over 2400 plant species have been shown to have pesticidal properties. Neem oil at 2% and neem seed kernel extract 5% with liquid soap at 0.05% controls major pest of rice, sucking pest of cotton and vegetables. Neem cake can be used at 250 kg per hectare to control cotton stem weevil and soil insects. Commercial neem formulations are available in market which contain varying levels of azadirachtin, varying from 0.03 to 5%. As we know that azadirachtin is the active principle in the neem oil which is responsible to kill or to control the insects. So different commercial products are available, and where you can see that azadirachtin content varies from 0.03 to 5%. Pheromones in pest management. Pheromones are the chemical substances released by insects which attract other individuals of the same species. Sex hormones have been used in pest management in many ways like monitoring, mating disruption or mass trapping. Commercially available sex pheromones are there in the market, and they are available for American bollworm, pink bollworm, spotted bollworm, tobacco cutworm, yellow stem borer of rice, mango fruit fly or melon fruit fly. Biological control is very important strategy of pest management. Management of pests and diseases causing agent utilizing parasitoids, predators and microbial agents like viruses, bacteria and fungi is termed as biological control. The three important approaches in biological control are importation. We bring these bioagents from other countries and use them directly in our fields. Other is conservation. In conservation, these bioagents are conserved right in situ, right in field, and so that their population is maintained over years. Augmentation is artificially growing or multiplication of bioagents in laboratory and then releasing them back to the field. And variety of biocontrol agents are commercially produced or available. For example, egg parasitoids, Trichogramma species can be used for borers, bollworms, and Telenomus renus for Spodoptera litura, and larval parasitoids like Beracan can be used for cotton bollworms, and pupal parasitoids like Brachymetria for coconut black-headed caterpillar. And NPV virus, it is kind of virus of Helicoverpa armigera is available. It can kill the gram caterpillar, and Bacillus thuringiensis is kind of bacteria. It controls Lepidopterous insects, and some fungus species are also available. For individual crops, different bioagents or biopesticides can be used to manage the pest. For example, in rice, to control stem borer, we need Trichogramma japonicum at 5 cc per hectare per release on 30 and 37th day after transplanting. Similarly, leaf folder in rice can be managed by T. chilonis 5 cc cubic centimeter per hectare per release on 58, 65 and 72 day after transplanting, and neem seed kernel extract at 5% spray should be used. For cotton, the insect is S. luteria. It can be controlled by SNPV spray at 1.5 into 10 to the power 12 POB per hectare. Now, biotechnological approaches. The low toxicity of proteinase inhibitors and Bt de-endotoxing as compared to conventional insecticides would reduce the selection pressure and may slow down the development of resistance. Dependence on weather for efficacy of the sprays would be eliminated. No need of continuous monitoring of pests. Transgenic plant would also provide protection to those plants parts which are difficult to be managed or difficult to be treated with pesticides. The cost of application in the form of equipment and labor will be eliminated. The development cost is only fraction of the cost of development of a conventional pesticide. There would be no problem of contamination in the form of drift and groundwater pollution or contamination. Insecticidal activity would be restricted to those insects which actually attack the plants. Transgenic plants would be safe to non-target species and human beings. Now, I can conclude that IPM combines all appropriate techniques and methods to manage pests. The important component of IPM are physical, cultural, mechanical and biocontrol methods. Besides pest surveillance and monitoring, host plant restraint and behavioral methods, crop management practices like crop rotation, intercropping, planting time, planting density, water management, organic matter addition, use of restraint varieties, bioagents, botanicals and of course biotechnological approaches can be made to manage pests. I hope that you could understand the topic integrated pest management very well. For further queries or further information, you can go through the website of Manage or you can directly contact them for reading material or study material in Hyderabad. Thank you very much.